of the Irish and the French with that wonderful last quarter through the tiring Chinese.
As we have the start list here for semi-final number 2, lane 1, Romania, lane 2, New Zealand, lane 3, Italy, lane 4, Lithuania, lane 5, Netherlands, lane 6, Norway.
So over there on the far side, the world and Olympic champions, Ankuta Bodnar, Simona Radis, they haven't lost since they picked up silver behind New Zealand in the 2019 Worlds. In lane 2, Frances Brooke and Lucy Spores from New Zealand, 2 women from the Waikato and Canterbury clubs, both Tokyo Olympians. Brooke Francis second in the women's 8, as was Lucy Spores. The Italians, Stefano Buttigioni and Silvia Quasio. The fast Lithuanians may be disadvantaged in that lane, Dovile Rimkute, and behind her the veteran Donata Caroline. Well, again, the veteran oarswoman Lisa Chaynard from the Netherlands in the stroke seat, and Ninka Vos behind her. Lane 5, not the best lane. Chaynard took a bronze medal in the Tokyo Olympics in the women's double. And it's a tough ask from that lane, the Theta Rowing Club oarsman. And in lane 6, Thea Helses and Jenny Marie Rorvik from Norway. Been in the A final this year of Lucerne. Their best result, they are improving the 2 27-year-olds, but as we know, conditions put them against it in lane 6.
Well, here we go, a smooth start away. If anything, it looks like these Italians got really nicely up and away into this one. New Zealand is slightly slower off the start, but we're not unused to seeing New Zealand crews really come through in the middle of races, so I'm sure they won't be too worried, and it's pretty modest conditions. It's not fast today, that's for sure.
Another very tight start here in the women's double sculls. In the middle of the course, Lithuania just with a narrow lead, but the crew to watch, of course, Romania just pushing their bow ball ahead.
Yeah, and the New Zealander Brooke Francis, formerly Brooke Donoghue, of course, with Hannah Osborne in that double scull, where they took a silver medal in the Tokyo Olympics.
Well, we know the Romanians are such a strong combination. They've been massive leaders, crew of the year for the last few years. Very hard to beat, so we can't help expecting them to ease their way up into gold medal position. But what about this Lithuanian double with Donata Carolina in the bow seat there, doing a good job?
Yeah, mum of twins, Donata, and she's a veteran. She was in the women's single in the B final back in the 2012 Olympics. She got a bronze medal in the Rio Olympics. She's found this new partner, Dovile Rimkute. I'm just a bit concerned as we look at Carolina and Rimkute. The fast start in lane 4 will work against them in the last quarter, and yeah.
They're working hard there, and interesting, look, they're using different blades.
Yeah, it's a great shout. I think Donata Carolina uses the Braka blades, which are made in Lithuania. She's always used them in the single, and her partner Rimkute uses different blades. There's nothing new, but a good spot, Greg.
And confirmation coming through the first 500. Romania, Lithuania and New Zealand in that third place. Certainly these two athletes, Francis and Spores, coming back up to full fitness. Lucy's over here with her baby. So both mothers and coming back, and I expect we'll see more and more from that double as we progress towards the Paris Olympics next year.
Well, good to see the Lithuanians here hanging on to this second position over here on this side of the course. But I can tell you they're working hard for it. They're at 37 strokes a minute. The crews to their left are all lower in rate than them. And you wonder whether they are, as you suggested, Martin, going to pay for it later. Yeah,
well, I think when you're a veteran athlete, 34 years of age, as Carolina is, you always wonder whether you've, you know, inverted commas, still got it. But Dovile Rimkute, the 21-year-old, has no fear. The Lithuanians showed they had no fear when they led the Romanians at the European Championships. The Romanians had a last gasp sprint to get through the Lithuanians in the finish. And at the moment, obviously, Romania in that favoured lane are going to win this, barring accidents. But in the second quarter. That's a handy lead to have for Lithuania over the third and fourth place crew.
Yeah, what a show up here, though, from the Kiwis. I'm really impressed with the work that they're doing to get themselves into the third place at the moment, ahead of the Dutch. They've got about 12 metres or so. So really good performance here to get themselves into a qualifying position as they come through the 1,000-metre mark.
Romania in the lead, Lithuania in second place. Over there on the far side, Brooke Francis and Lucy Spores from New Zealand in third place. It is the crew from the Netherlands, Lisa Sheenard and Ninka Vos in fourth place. And the race will unwind as we go into the second half.
So more or less the same speed to the 1,000. The Romanians maybe just under a second slower than the Americans, but more or less the same speed as the previous semi-final. We know the conditions. It's a bit hard to read anything into them because they are up and down, but a good marker through the 1,000-metre mark.
Is that the Lithuanians moving back on the Romanians, or am I just seeing things?
I think you might be absolutely right. I think there's a little bit of an overlap. They've been fantastic, really, from the Lithuanians here in second place. We take a look at this double from New Zealand doing a great job, as you've said, Sarah, to secure the third qualifying place. Hard to know if anyone's going to be able to challenge them, because these crews have opened up a big, big gap over the rest of the field. Possibly Italy are in lane 3. We saw an amazing finish from the French in the previous race, but I think everyone else is getting themselves too far behind. As you can see, the Netherlands well behind New Zealand.
Yeah, we just saw Rimkute and Carolina. They took a silver medal in Lucerne behind the Romanians. I'm really amazed to see them up there as we come into the last part of this third quarter. There's Simona Radis. What a championship she had last year. She won the women's doubles, jumped into the stroke seat of the Romanian women's 8, and she got a gold medal in that too. And
yeah, she virtually had to run along the bank, didn't she, to jump in?
I know.
Did someone else warm up?
Yeah.
I think someone else warmed up.
Simona Radis, really chatty, and Kuta Bodnar, the quieter of the two athletes. They go through with a length's lead over Lithuania. And I have to say, from Lithuania in lane 4, that's a fantastic performance. New Zealand well clear of the Netherlands, 3 seconds. That's a lot to do for Sheenard and Vos in the last quarter. Look at the Lithuanians go in that lane 4.
Yeah, although still covering them, it is the Romanians over the far side. The Romanians stepping up to 39 strokes per minute. They're looking to get this race win. Lithuania pump up to 38. Are they going to have enough to get these fast-finishing Romanians who are still managing just to hold clear water over the Lithuanians?
What are they doing there in lane 4? The Romanians should be further in front. Surely a double of that pedigree. I mean, this is an amazing performance for the Lithuanians to be that close.
It is an amazing performance as the Romanians at the top of the screen just raised the stroke rate. You can see it there up to 39. If you're the Lithuanians, surely now you just settle for the second position here. As we can see, if anyone's going to put pressure on, it would be the Netherlands. It would be Vos and Sheenard. But you can see the gap in the bottom left of your picture. You can see now the picture that they're in the bottom right of the screen. And I think the Netherlands have got too much to do too late.
So it is Romania at the top of your picture. It is Lithuania who, for some reason, have been battling from that lane 4 right at the front of the field. I think New Zealand closing on Lithuania as we come into the last part of this race. But the world champions, the Olympic champions, and Kuta Bodnar and Simona Radis are going to take the win and Paris qualification in this race from lane 1. Lithuania from lane 4. Take a second place. How many times has that been done today? The Lithuanians cross the line. They will be in Paris too. They will be delighted. Look at the Lithuanian stroke woman, Dovile Rimkute, turn round. New Zealand grab another Olympic qualification. Brooke Francis and Lucy Spores. Great result from the Dutch over here in the unfavoured lane 5. Italy up there, Buttigioni and Crozio. Norway, Helseth and Rorvik coming towards the back of the field.
Well, for me, a great scull here from the Lithuanians, and good news that it looks like the course isn't desperately unfair. It looks like actually you can definitely do well from this side of the course as we come into a couple of massive races we're going to bring you in the 8s.
And also, I think, a really impressive show up here from the Kiwis who got across the line over that experienced combination from the Netherlands, Francis and Spores. They're very much still on the comeback from having babies earlier this year.